Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. This afternoon from Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, it's a non-league clash as the number one ranked team in Class 2A by the Colorado High School Activities Association, the Resurrection Christian Cougars, take on your Brush Bead Diggers. I'm John Beltran as the Bead Diggers are taking the field first, so let's introduce you to the starting lineup here momentarily. For Resurrection Christian, the Bead Diggers at 4-1 going into this game. Resurrection Christian is at 7-1. These two teams will play twice this season. We do remind you that you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at KSIR Sports, and as well game action pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. So we'll get to the starting lineup for the Resurrection Christian Cougars against right-hander Ryan Hirschfeld, the senior right-hander, after the Bead Diggers won on Monday over Fort Morgan by a score of 10-0. Batting first is the shortstop Brett Bakerski. The left fielder Caleb Robbins hits second. Del Richardson, the catcher, hits third. The DH is Nathan Wiggins. Batting fifth is the first baseman Jake Lohr. Second baseman Josh Miller hits sixth. Jake Tomchek, the center fielder, hits seventh. In right field, Kobe Bishop hits eighth, and Colton Webb, the third baseman, bats ninth. The Bead Diggers defensively have Zane Fowl. Check that, B.J. Hirschfeld over at first. Second baseman is Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Mike Gutierrez at third. Kyle Rosenbrock in between him at short. Around the outfield, in left is Brandon Walter. Nico Guzman in center. Zane Fowles in right. Alec Peterson is behind the plate, and on the mound, the hard-throwing right-hander, Ryan Hirschfeld. As the Bead Diggers are playing their second game in 3 days, they'll play tomorrow at home against Yuma right here on 1010 and KSIR.com. And that will be starting at 4 o'clock. Then Saturday, they're on the road for their league opener when they take on the Strasburg Indians at 11 a.m. So here is the shortstop, Bakerski. Stepping in for Resurrection Christian. Hitting for the right side. As the opening pitch brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. At 842-4555, the fastball's a strike. Down the middle. It is 0-1 to Brett Bakerski. The stretch and the offering. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. As Hirschfeld is operating out of the stretch with the bases empty. No balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting Bakerski. Fastball way outside, just a waste pitch there. Thrown by Hirschfeld. Ball 1, strike 2 to the Cougar shortstop. The stretch and the offering. And a check swing, but he went through in a fastball extremely high. And it's a strikeout of Brett Bakerski for Ryan Hirschfeld.
Left fielder, number 6, Caleb Robbins.
Here's Caleb Robbins, the right fielder. Another right-handed hitter. The stretch by Hirschfeld, again with the bases empty. And the pitch, fastball right there for a strike. Thigh high, it's 0-1. Lots of Bead Digger baseball coming up over the next 3 weeks. Probably 4 weeks, considering they've only played 5 games. And the offering, curveball is up and in. Leveling the count at 1 strike. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan is Equitable Savings and Loan in Fort Morgan and Brush with financial solutions for you. The offering swung on and fisted in the air down the right side, giving chase is Hirschfeld. And that would be B.J. Hirschfeld, but it's off the top of the dugout. Count moves to 1-2. If you're listening now and have to bow away from the radio or the internet later, again, you can follow us on Twitter and on Facebook at KSIR Sports or B106, half inning by half inning updates, or Just go to KSIRsports.com, click on today's game for a pitch-by-pitch account. And the offering. Fastball is a called. Oh, a little bit ball. Just barely missed. I thought that was in there. But just a little bit outside. And the count is sitting at 2-2. I just barely missed. And the offering. Swung on and lifted foul. Yeah, sometimes I can't make the call from here thinking that it was going to be strike three as Hirschfeld on that fourth pitch to the batter was coming off the mound thinking he had strike three for the second straight hitter. But instead Robbins took a pitch extremely close. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down. Nobody on in the top of the first inning between the Cougars and the Bead Diggers in Brush. And the offering. Swung on and grounded to third. Gutierrez has it on the second hop, throws on a run, a little bit offline, but tagged out by the first baseman, B.J. Hirschfeld, and there's 2 down. Excellent adjustment over there by the Brush first baseman. 2 down for the left-handed hitting. Check it, the right-handed hitting, Del Richardson. He was stepping into the left-handed box.
Now batting catcher number 9, Del Chance Richardson.
And Hirschfeld feeling very comfortable operating out of the stretch with the bases empty. The stretch. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch and the offering. Fastball, a strike. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Time called up the first base side. Count level at 1-1. The pitch took something off and it's low and away. Count of 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 down. Nobody on here in the top of the first inning. No score between the Bead Diggers and the Resurrection Christian Cougars. And the offering. Swung on and fisted into right field. Coming in is foul, and he ranges under it and makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Hirschfeld. Let's head to the bottom of the first. The Cougars do not score. The Bead Diggers are coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, where the Bead Diggers and Resurrection Christian Cougars are scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first inning. We'll get you to the Bead Digger lineup here momentarily. Bead Digger lineup brought to you by High Plains Bank, hometown service in a higher plane. That's High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins for assistance in opening a loan, equity line of credit, or checking account. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. Batting first for the Bead Diggers is the catcher Alec Peterson.
Leading off for the Bead Diggers,
second baseman Arnoldo Maltos Garcia.
Catcher number 8, Alec Peterson.
Will be hitting second. We'll set you up for the rest of the lineup here. As we move along here in the bottom of the first inning. Peterson steps in. Ryan Hirschfeld will bat third, and the ball goes to the screen with a right-hander, Corey Wiggins, on the hill. Kyle Rosenbrock, the shortstop, will hit fifth. Oscar Soto, the DH, hits fifth, and Rosenbrock hitting fourth. The fastball is low. Yeah, we rely on a lot of technology here, and when it falters, have to make adjustments here. The pitch, fastball down and away. Nico Guzman, the center fielder, hits sixth. Mikey Gutierrez, the third baseman, bats seventh. First baseman B.J. Hirschfeld hits eighth. And Zane Fowl, the right fielder, hits ninth. 3-0 after the fastball's down and away. The offering, fastball is a strike. Just above belt level, it's 3-1. Another hard-throwing right-hander for Resurrection Christian. And Corey Wiggins. The wind and offering. Fastball is a strike at the knees. 3-2. For all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything, Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. The pitch swung on. That's grounded on the right side towards the second baseman, Miller, and he throws to first. And retired is Alec Peterson. Defensively, Jake Lors at first. We mentioned Miller at second. Colton Webb at third. Brett Baker skis the shortstop. For Resurrection Christian, Caleb Robinson left. Jake Tomchek in center. Kobe Bishop is in right. Dell Chance Richardson behind the plate. And Corey Wiggins has retired the opening hitter, the right-hander, now to Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. The pitch to Baby, a fastball down and away. One ball and no strikes. To the beat digger, second baseman, the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count levels at 1-1. To Maltos Garcia. And the offering. Curveball is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. No score in the bottom of the first inning. In Brush between the Bee Diggers and Resurrection Christian Cougars. The wind and offering. Fastball is grounded right off the pitcher, and he's trying to locate it, picks it up, throws to first in time to get the speedy Maltos Garcia. Wiggins spun around, and the ball was right in front of him. Hard hit ball there by Baby,
Pitcher, number 20,
but it results in an out.
Ryan Hirschfeld.
Here's Ryan Hirschfeld, who hit a 3-run homer on Monday and Brush's 10-0 victory in Fort Morgan against the Mustangs. Stop, shop, and save on all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. The Brush Grocery Cart at 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. You can pay your public service bill and access Western Union, the Brush Grocery Cart. And taking a warm-up pitch there is Wiggins to make sure he's okay after taking that shot off the ankle. Wind and pitch. The curveball is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and the offering. Curveball is up and in. Count moves to 2-0 on a perfect day for anything, just not for baseball. Temperature in the 70s. And the 2-0. Fastball is upstairs. Count moves to 3-0 on Ryan Hirschfeld. The pitch is right down the middle for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Hirschfeld. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a ball at the letters. 3-2. Hirschfeld with an open stance. And the offering outside, and Hirschfeld walks on a 3-2 pitch. That'll bring up Kyle Rosenbrock. The Bee Digger shortstop, who on Monday had a 2-run double and a grand slam in his first 2 at-bats. Also threw a 1-hitter.
Shortstop, number 5,
Grayson Simmons
Rosenbrock.
will be the courtesy runner for Ryan Hirschfeld. Out of the stretch is Wiggins. Short lead at first over there for Simmons. And the offering. Fastball down and away. Nice job by Richardson keeping that ball in front of him. 1-0. The Cougars were retired in order in the top of the first inning. Bee Diggers trying to counter. Not with a 0, but with something. 1-0. Fastball is a little bit low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. 18 pitches thrown by Wiggins. Only 7 have been strikes, but he's got 2 down and only 1 on base. The stretch. And a 2-0. Fastball is lifted down the right field line. Kobe Bishop is going way back towards the track, and that ball is a home run for Kyle Rosenbrock the other way with a 2-run blast. And the Beat Diggers in the bottom of the first inning lead the Resurrection Christian Cougars 2-0. Now you could tell when that hit the bat that it was hit extremely well. But you don't see too many home runs at any level the opposite way. So Rosenbrock homers for the second straight game. Here comes Oscar Soto.
Now batting in place of the left fielder, number 40, Oscar Soto.
Soto did struggle, and he swings and misses, striking out twice. On Monday, and the 0-1, swing and a miss late on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. Line and pitch, swing and a miss again on 3 pitches, and the inning is over. Beat Diggers pick up 2 runs on 1 hit, a 2-run homer by Kyle Rosenbrock, and the bases were left empty. Let's head to the second inning. Brush 2, Resurrection Christian nothing. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Nathan Wiggins hits in the second inning against Ryan Hirschfeld. The Beat Diggers lead 2-0. On a 2-run homer by Kyle Rosenbrock in the bottom of the first inning. And out of the stretch is Hirschfeld with the bases empty. Gets the sign in the pitch, and it's right there for a strike. Down the middle to Wiggins, the right-handed hitting. 4th place hitter. Hirschfeld at the belt, and the 0-1. The breaking ball is a little bit high, and the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. A 2-out walk to Ryan Hirschfeld preceded that home run by Rosenbrock. Stretched by Hirschfeld, and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball at the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can follow us pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. Click on today's game. The pitch. Check swing foul. Off to the right, the count remains at 1-2. You want your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them at Central Auto Parts, your local Napa store in Fort Morgan. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peterson lays down the sign. And the pitch. The bender is in the dirt. 2-2. Beat Diggers tomorrow will play Yuma at 4 o'clock right here on 1010 and KSIR.com. And Saturday morning in Strasburg against the Indians at 11 o'clock, also on 1010 and the web. Swing and a miss and a fastball well above the letters. And it's another strikeout for Ryan Hirschfeld. There's 1 down as Jake Lohr will now hit for Resurrection Christian here in the second.
First baseman, number 12, Jake Lohr.
Another right-handed hitter for the Cougars. Hirschfeld will stretch. And the offering. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. It's 0-1. Hirschfeld working quickly. And the offering. Breaking ball is down and away. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Both teams with only 1 loss. Resurrection lost 14-0 to Eaton. The Beat Diggers lost 10-9 in the final inning to Classical Academy. The offering. All-speed pitch down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Look to the team at Aspen Rehabilitation inside Valley View Villa for your sports rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. 815 Fremont, 867-8261. And that ball hit Lohr as the fastball was riding inside, got him on the left shoulder. And Resurrection Christian has their first base runner.
Number 1, Josh Miller.
Josh Miller will now hit. Beat Diggers at double play depth. Very young infield, a junior third baseman, junior shortstop, sophomore second baseman, and also an underclassman, B.J. Hirschfeld at first. 3-step lead for Lohr. Big open stance for Miller. And the pitch. Fastball rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. And Miller's stance is wide open. And the 1-0 squaring to bunt, then swings and chops it on the right side. The second baseman, Maltos Garcia, flips to first to record the out. Advancing to second is Lore, but there's two down in the top of the third inning. Jake Tomchek will now hit. And he is a left-handed hitter for Resurrection Christian. Nice job by the Bee Diggers being ready for that one. And Maltos Garcia making the sure play. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner. Belt high. It's 0-1. 2-0 Bee Diggers in the top of the second inning on a 2-run homer by Kyle Rosenbrock. Hirschfeld stretches. Hirschfeld looks back and delivers. Swag and a miss and a fastball tailing away. It is 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Hirschfeld looks in. And the pitch. A little bit up and away. Count at 1-2. Hirschfeld already with 2 strikeouts in the game. Lore leads off of second with 2 down in the second. Peterson lays down the sign. And the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is upstairs. That levels the count at 2-2. Brush has gone to the state tournament 3 of the last 4 years. 2 years in a row. That might have been 3 and 5. Got to redo my calculations. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left. Yeah, I think I've messed up the calculations a little bit. They went 2012, 2013, 2008, so I'm a little bit off, quite a bit. 3 times in 6 seasons would be the official calculation. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tomchek, the left-handed hitter, awaits the pitch. Swing and fouls it to the screen. He just got underneath that pitch, and the count remains at 2-2. Good at bat so far for Tomchek. Hirschfeld looks in, and time is called. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up, pick up something new for the hot and cold deli selection at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Great food at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. Hirschfeld looks in, and the 2-2. Fastball is up and away. Be a payoff pitch coming up to the 7th place hitter in the lineup, Jake Tomchek. Now the left-handed hitter's on deck. And you can hear the wind kicking up nicely here in Brush. Lore with the lead at second. 3-2. Swing and a miss and a fastball tailing away. And Resurrection Christian is done in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. An inning and a half complete. The Bee Diggers 2, the Cougars nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Nico Guzman will begin the bottom of the second for the Bee Diggers.
Centerfield, number 13, Nico Guzman.
The number 6 place hitter in the lineup with the Bee Diggers leading 2-0. Wind and pitch. Fastball is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Wind and offering. Fastball is a strike. Belt high from the right-hander Corey Wiggins. And the count is level at 1-1. Wind and pitch. Down and away with a heater. Looks like Nico's wearing those old-time baseball socks, those stirrups, which I love. Traditional baseball look. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted into the right center field gap. A long run, and that ball's going to be caught in right center field by Kobe Bishop as the ball hung. And there's 1 down. Looking like he got a decent hold of it, but the ball just dropped right into the glove. Here's Mikey Gutierrez, the right-handed hitting third baseman. You can catch for Morgan Mustangs right now on B106 and B106.com. Vista Peak leading that game on B106 2-1 in the early going. The Benders low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Nice B-Digger crowd settling along the third baseline and beyond the fence in left field. Fastball is up and in. 2-0. And be the nicest day of the year. And the 2-0. Swing. Gutierrez was unsure. And underneath the baseball, ball 2 strike. That'll bring up the right-handed hitting first baseman, B.J. Hirschfeld. Wiggins looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And the offering. Fastball down the middle for a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Line and offering. Curveball is down and away, which levels the count at 1-1. Line and pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball above the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a tough pitch to hit. The pitch swung on and grounded left side. Diving attempt by the third baseman Webb. It's off the glove of the shortstop Bakerski into left field for a base hit. Nice 2-out swing there. And 2-strike swing by B.J. Hirschfeld as the inning continues.
Number 3, Zane Fowl.
And here is Zane Fowl. He was able to get a couple of base hits, and he scored a run in the 10-0 victory on Monday over Fort Morgan. The stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball upstairs. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch. And the offering. Up and away. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Short lead at first for Hirschfeld. The pitch. Scooped up by Richardson. Ball 2, strike 1. Brush 2, Resurrection Christian, nothing in the bottom of the second inning. On a 2-run homer by Kyle Rosenbrock. Again, you can follow us so many different types of ways on Twitter and Facebook at KSIR Sports, at KSIRsports.com, a pitch-by-pitch account. And the fastball's on the inside corner. It's strike 2. Just above knee level. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. With a man at first. The stretch by Wiggins. The pitch. Swung on and popped up and out of play on the right side. As the count stays at 2-2. Have a full month of baseball between the B-Diggers and the Rockies. All right here on 1010 with the B-Diggers also on KSIR.com. It'll be a 2-2 to Fowl. The pitch down and away. Hirschfeld will be taking off on this pitch, so we'll have a little bit of an advantage. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on in line and caught by the shortstop Bakerski. Hit very hard by Fowl, but nothing he could do there. The shortstop Bakerski was right there. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We played 2 in Brush. The B-Diggers 2, the Resurrection Christian Cougars nothing. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The B-Diggers lead by a score of 2-0 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Kobe Bishop, Colton Webb, and Brett Bakerski against the right-hander Ryan Hirschfeld, who has not allowed a hit so far. And the Bee Diggers just playing solid fundamental baseball so far with the first couple of innings, and Hirschfeld is doing his job with 3 strikeouts.
Right fielder, number 23, Kobe Bishop.
So here is Bishop, the left-handed hitting outfielder. 8-9-1 for the Cougars here in the third. And Hirschfeld is not operated out of the windup. He's strictly going from the stretch where he feels extremely comfortable. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs. One ball and no strikes. Stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Squaring to bunt, but takes it for a strike on the outer half. And the count is even at 1-1. One ball, one strike to Bishop. Hirschfeld looks in. And the offering. Swung on and fouled back, and the count goes to 1-2. Before your next mixer, feeder, truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. MMI International, they continually outperform their competitors, 842-5161. One ball and 2 strikes to Kobe Bishop. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the offering. The breaking ball is down and in. 2-2. 3 strikeouts so far in the game, no walks, and a hit batsman for the senior right-hander. The stretch. And the pitch. That is a called strike 3 on the outside corner at the knees. Strikeout number 4. There's one down in the third.
Strikeout number 4 for Ryan Hirschfeld. Now batting.
And Hirschfeld taking care of a good lineup so far. Here's Colton Webb, the 9th place hitter. The stretch by Hirschfeld. The pitch. Swung on and grounded on. 2 hops to Rosenbrock at short. Sets, throws, and there's 2 down. Top of the lineup now coming up, as Brett Bakerski will now hit. He struck out swinging in the opening inning against this right-hander. And this game is moving along swiftly with 2 very good pitchers in Wiggins of Resurrection Christian and Hirschfeld of Brush. But right now the Bee Diggers with a 2-0 lead on a 2-run homer by Kyle Rosenbrock. The stretch and the pitch. The curveball is right there for a strike on the outside corner just above the knees. And it's 0-1. Hirschfeld gets a sign. And the offering. Swung on and fouled straight back. And the count moves to 1-2. Check it, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Nobody on in the third. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fisted in the air. Foul down the right side and out of play. Count remains at 0-2 to the leadoff hitter in this lineup, Brett Bakerski, who's up there with 2 down and nobody on. The Cougars do not have a hit as of yet. Hirschfeld stretches, and the offering. Breaking ball is in the dirt. Count goes to 1-2. The Bee Diggers have a couple of hits in this game. The home run by Rosenbrock and the base hit in the second inning from B.J. Hirschfeld. The stretch. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up on the right side. It should have a play. The first baseman, Hirschfeld, is over. And nope, the ball hit the top of the batting cage. It just kept swirling over there, and it's just a foul ball. Count remains at 1-2. To Brett Bakerski. Peterson lays down the sign, setting up at the outside corner. And the 1-2. Curveball is lifted into right field. Zane Fowl, a few steps back, makes the one-handed catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Hirschfeld. Let's head to the bottom of the third. The score, Brush 2, Resurrection Christian nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. It'll be the top of the order for the Bee Diggers here in the bottom of the third inning. Alec Peterson, Baby Maltos Garcia, and Ryan Hirschfeld, with Brush leading 2-0. Peterson grounded to second in the opening frame.
Alex Peterson.
Against the right-hander, Corey Wiggins. There's the wind and pitch. Fastball is scooped out in the dirt by Richardson. It's 1-0. Bee Diggers 1 year ago went 1-2 in the state tournament and finished in 6th place. The pitch in the dirt again, and that was with a very young team. They graduated Mitch Tormolen, but that was essentially about it when it came to the starters. Essentially sophomore laden. 2-0. Swung on and fouled behind the plate off the foot of the catcher Richardson. It's 2-1. Your one-stop center for home improvement projects, Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. For flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. That's Ackley Building Center. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. With the Bee Diggers up by a couple. Peterson back in the box. The wind by the right-hander Wiggins, the pitch. Fastball rides up and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Peterson settles back in. And the 3-1. Fastball is a strike on the outer half at the knees. It's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. To Alec Peterson. Wind by Wiggins, and the offering. Swung on and grounded on the left side. A play for Bakerski deep at short. Throw to first is going to be just in time. And Peterson is retired by a smidgen. Excellent play in the hole by Brett Bakerski.
Now batting second baseman.
That'll bring up Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. He hit a shot right off the pitcher in the opening inning, and he was barely thrown out. Pitchers duel so far. No hits for the Cougars, 2 for the Bee Diggers, but one of them was a 2-run homer by Rosenbrock. Wind and pitch. Fastball right down the middle, strike 1. And we're seeing why Resurrection Christian is ranked number 1 in Class 2A, while the Bee Diggers are also a very good team. The offering. Fastball right there at the knees. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. To Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. Wiggins gets the sign from Richardson. And the offering. Fastball is taken just outside. 1-2 to the sophomore second baseman. Yeah, that pitch was close, but it definitely missed. And the offering. Curveball is chopped right out down the third base side. It's going to be picked up by the pitcher. Throw to first is going to be in time. Boy, a bullet thrown by Wiggins. And on another close play, Maltos Garcia is thrown out. 2 down for Hirschfeld, who walked ahead of the 2-run homer by Rosenbrock, who's on deck. Yeah, you don't want an error to determine this game. So far, good pitching and some pretty good defense. No errors have been committed as of yet. Wind in the pitch. The curveball is right down the middle. That's strike 1. To Hirschfeld. He gets the sign and the offering. Curveball is in the same spot, 0-2. Corey Wiggins throwing nothing but BBs right now. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs. Ball 1, strike 2 to Ryan Hirschfeld. 2-0 Brush. We're in the bottom of the third inning with 2 down and nobody on. And the pitch. Curveball is grounded up the middle. The second baseman to his right. Miller cannot play it. It's into center field. Off his glove. He would have had to play it first. As Hirschfeld extends the inning, we'll call that an error. Certainly, if he fields it, he's got to play.
Now batting.
But it went off his glove, and the Bee Diggers have the inning extended for Kyle Rosenbrock, as Grayson Simmons will now run for Hirschfeld. Looking in is Wiggins. And the pitch. Breaking ball is fouled up the third base side. Got a piece of Rosenbrock. It is 0-1. Now you wonder how many fastballs you'll see now from Wiggins, considering that Rosenbrock hit one out opposite field in the first inning. No balls and one strike. And the offering. Curveball is upstairs. So 2 curves to begin this at bat. The count is even at 1-1. And the pitch. Woo! Well, that nearly hit him in the helmet. Man, 2-1 overthrew that pitch. Rosenbrock doing a nice job getting out of the way. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wiggins gets the sign. Short lead at first. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him. Let her high. And the count is at 2-2. Yeah, that previous pitch before the fastball was a message pitch, they call them. And the 2-2 offering swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play. That pitch looked like it was a little bit out of the zone, but Rosenbrock wasn't taking any chances. Count remains at 2-2. 2 down, a man on in the bottom of the third inning. Bee Diggers up by a deuce. Rosenbrock will step back in. Corey Wiggins, the right-hander, has already thrown 61 pitches. He's not out of the third. And the offering. Curveball is grounded weakly on the second base side. Miller charges gloves, flips to first, and that's going to be late. Rosenbrock beats it out. It was a 3/4 swing. That's what helped out Rosenbrock, as that ball barely got to the second baseman, who had to charge hard.
Now batting in the designated hitter.
And the inning's extended now
Number 40.
for Oscar Soto. He needs some confidence. He has struck out his last 3 times. Got a big bat, but he's pulling off a lot of pitches. Hasn't even fouled one in the last 3 at-bats. Let's see if he can make an adjustment here. The stretch, and now stepping off is Wiggins. Laying down the sign is Richardson. The stretch. And the offering. Swing and a miss. He's pulling off that one again. It's 0-1. Going to be tough to hit it. I mean, he's excellent hitter, but cannot find the zone right now. The 0-1 swung on. That ball is belted foul down the left side, so that's a good sign. Sometimes it only takes that one swing. He's got a very good swing, but it gets a little bit loopy at times, and when it gets loopy, you swing and miss. Now he's got to protect. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, 2 on. 2-0 Brush, bottom 3. Stretch by Wiggins. And the offering. Fastball is up and away. Count moves to 1-2, and Soto hits the ball very well the other way when he's in a zone. At second is Simmons. Rosenbrock at first. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss and a fastball above the letters, and Soto strikes out. No runs on 1 hit. A Cougar error and 2 men left. 3 complete. It's the Bee Diggers 2, Resurrection Christian nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 2-0 Bee Diggers as we head to the 4th inning. Caleb Robbins will lead off in the 4th for Resurrection Christian. Been a pitcher's duel so far. The Bee Diggers have 3 hits. And the Cougars are still looking for their first against right-hander Ryan Hirschfeld.
Top of the 4th inning. Left fielder, number 6, Caleb
So here is Robbins. Hitting from the right side. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a big swing and he missed it. 0 for 1 is Robbins. He grounded to third. In the opening frame. A stretch and the offering. Curveball is down and away. Leveling the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike here to Robbins. And the pitch. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. Count moves to 1-2. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery offers cookies, muffins, sweetbreads, and they're all made fresh daily. Open early 6 days a week. Pair with your favorite coffee, lattes, or smoothie flavors. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery. Swung on and popped foul and out of play again. And the count remains at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caleb Robbins. Hirschfeld gets a sign. And time is called. The Bay Diggers scored their lone runs in the first inning. It's been 2-0 since Rosenbrock's home run. And we're in the 4th. 1-2, the stretch, the pitch. Oh, he short on that to the screen. Almost looked like he made up his mind in mid-pitch as to what he wanted to throw. 2-2. Resurrection Christian had a man at second in the second before Hirschfeld struck out Jake Tomchek to end the threat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Down and away with a fastball. Three and two. These teams will play later on this month in Loveland. Payoff. Ball 4 with a fastball down and away. That's the way rally starts. As Robbins races to first.
Number 9, Del Chance Richardson.
Here is Del Chance Richardson, who popped to right in the opening frame. That's the first walk issued by Hirschfeld. He's also hit a batter and struck out 4. Well, let's see if the Bee Diggers can turn a double play. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch, a pitch out. Runner's not going, but Peterson dropped the ball. He was about to throw to first, and the runner was way off. But he didn't secure it. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Hard to throw a pitch out now when you're down in the count at 1-0. You don't want to lead to something that could create a big inning. Or create something that could lead to a big inning. Stretch by Hirschfeld. And the step off, soft toss to first, nothing doing, just to keep the runner honest. Still 1 ball and no strikes to Richardson. Stretch by Ryan. And a pitch. Fastball is outside. 2-0. He's going to have to give in at some point. And it might be giving in right now. A hitter's count, a runner at first, a 2-0 Brush lead, but the Cougars are threatening the pitch. Fastball is low, 3-0. Yeah, sometimes a rally gets started without you having to do nothing. Cougars are standing there until a pitch is thrown for a strike. And the offering, that's right there down the middle off the glove of Peterson, but it's strike 1. 3-1. Big pitch coming up for Ryan Hirschfeld. 3 balls and 1 strike. Robbins off of first. Hirschfeld stretches. Runner going. Ball 4 with a fastball. 2 walks to begin the 4th. And the heart of the order is coming up here. Nathan Wiggins, the cleanup hitter.
Number 14, Nathan Wiggins.
Well, the question is, do you bunt here? Play some small ball, get 2 runners in scoring position, and attempt to tie the game. First time the Resurrection Christian has had 2 men on in a row. They're still looking for a hit. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Nice pitch thrown by the right-hander. No balls, 1 strike. Robbins at second, Richardson at first. The stretch. And the offering scoring to bunt, and he pops it up the third base side. Gutierrez is going to glove. He's going to throw to first, and that's going to be late. The second baseman, Maltos Garcia, is covering. And despite a very faulty bunt, the bases are loaded. And it's the first hit of the game for Resurrection Christian. And the bases are now loaded for Jake Lohr. He was hit by a pitch. But this all started because of 2 walks. Nothing the Cougars did. Had that bunt went a little bit deeper, Gutierrez would have caught it. 2-0 Brush, but that lead is in major jeopardy right now. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch swung on and grounded foul off the right side. Now Hirschfeld now has to discover his strikeout pitch or just pop up something in the infield. No balls, 1 strike. The Cougars with a base hit in the outfield would at the very least tie the game. Hirschfeld looks in. And the 0-1 offering squaring to bunt, and he lays it down, and Hirschfeld's going to pick it up. He throws to the plate. That's going to be dropped by Peterson. Then the ball gets loose in the infield, and another run scores. And the trail runner goes to third. Another runner headed to second. We'll call that an infield hit for Resurrection Christian on the bunt because they didn't have Robbins at the plate. And then on the drop ball by Peterson, another run scores. And now the game is tied at 2. Yeah, that was a mess. And now it'll be Josh Miller hitting. He grounded out in his first at bat. So he's 0 for 1. So with 2 more runners in scoring position, they're threatening to take the lead here. The stretch. And scoring to bunt up the first base side. That's going to be a tough play. Hirschfeld picks it up, throws to first in time, and now the throw to the plate as the trail runner scores. 2-run score there. And it's now 4-2. The B-Diggers with some miscommunication in the infield. 2-run score on a bunt. No error there as Josh Miller laid it down. And it's now 4-2. That'll bring up Jake Tomchek. Wow, they have executed beautifully here.
Now batting, center field, number 2, Jake.
So Tomchek steps in. The stretch. And the offering. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. And the 0-1 offering. Swung on and fouled back. But again, all this started because of 2 walks. So a couple of bunts, small balls really helped out Resurrection Christian. The pitch. Curveball is up and away. Two balls, Check it, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and hit foul up the left side. Count remains at 1-2. Yeah, you play small ball. Man, that can help, and Resurrection Christian has proven that in this inning. Stretched by Hirschfeld, the offering, swung on and lined to left field, coming on and playing it on a hop as Walter. That's a base hit for Jake Tomchek. And Hirschfeld really struggling here in the 4th inning. Past the top of the hour, this is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Greeley. I'm John Beltran, live from Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, where the Bee Diggers held a 2-0 lead. But now it's 4-2, Resurrection Christian. The stretch. Throw back to first, and a close play. Out! And picked off over there is Tomchek, and there's 2 down. Excellent pickoff over there by Ryan Hirschfeld, as Bishop will now step in. Hasn't seen a pitch yet. The stretch swung on and grounded to short. Rosenbrock has it. His throw to first is going to be in time. And Resurrection Christian is finally done in the inning. However, they put together a very productive inning. 4 runs on 3 hits, a Bee Digger error, and the bases were left empty. Resurrection Christian 4, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Bee Diggers now trail Resurrection Christian by a score of 4-2. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, the Bee Diggers stunned in that inning. Just a rough inning for Ryan Hirschfeld when he walked the first 2 hitters. Here is Nico Guzman. Guzman popped out in his opening at bat. The fastball's down the middle, and that is strike 1. So Guzman at 0 for 1. And Corey Wiggins kicks and fires. Breaking ball to the screen. That levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. To Guzman. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Count now moves to 1-2. A couple of walks and a couple of bunts. Actually produced 4 runs. And the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is in the dirt. Levels the count at 2-2. Bee Diggers and Cougars have had some great games here in years past. Couple of 1-run games won by the Bee Diggers. And the pitch swung on and chopped to the right side. Second baseman Miller sidearms to first. There's 1 down. One down for Mikey Gutierrez, who struck out swinging in his first at bat. The Bee Diggers are going to be a little bit rusty. Cougars have played 8 games coming in. The Bee Diggers with only 5, even though Brush played on Monday. But that was only a 5-inning game. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball down the middle. That's strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Gutierrez. And the offering. Swing and a miss. Threw it right by him. 0-2. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night, when they do. Every second counts. Colorado Plains Medical Center is a level 3 trauma center where expertise matters. Fastball is up and away. And that moves the count to 1-2. Gutierrez settles in the pitch. Curveball is a called strike 3, inside corner, belt high, fooling the Bee Digger third baseman. And there's 2 down. Here's B.J. Hirschfeld, who singled in his first at bat. Bee Diggers need something desperately. The pitch. Curveball is right down the middle. That's strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to the Bee Digger first baseman. And the offering. Same spot. 0-2. Wiggins looking to make it a very quick inning. And the pitch inside. Count moves to 1-2 on B.J. Hirschfeld. Wind by Wiggins, the pitch. Check swing foul towards the first base dugout, occupied by Resurrection Christian. Count stays at 1-2. Bee Diggers struck early but have been silent for the most part since the first inning. 1-2 pitch. Called a ball just outside. The pitcher Wiggins and the catcher Richardson were running towards the dugout. That barely missed. Barely missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Line by Wiggins and the offering. That is a called strike 3. Looked like the same spot. The previous pitch called a ball. That one called a strike. 4 complete. Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Resurrection Christian 4, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We head to the 5th inning in Brush. The Bee Diggers held a 2-0 lead for a while, but now Resurrection Christian leads by a score of 4-2. And Colton Webb will lead off the inning.
Third baseman, number 15.
Hitting from the right side.
Webb.
Against the right-hander Ryan Hirschfeld, who labored badly in the 4th. Walked the first 2 hitters, and it didn't get much better from there. Webb grounded to short in his opening at bat. 9-1-2, the stretch. And the offering. Swung on in line, down the left field line for a base hit. And Resurrection Christian, which had no base hits over the first 3 innings, now have 4 in the game, out-hitting the Bee Diggers 4-3. Brett Bakerski struck out and popped out. He's 0 for 2. As they look to extend a 4-2 lead. Short lead at first for Webb. Hirschfeld looks in. And the pitch. Curveball is popped foul and out of play. Well, the Bee Diggers are such a clutch team. You're only down by 2. They can certainly rally. They had the game lost the last 2 years here against Resurrection Christian and somehow won both games. No balls, 1 strike. We're in the top of the 5th inning for the 2nd straight inning. Resurrection Christian, also known as Resurrection Christian, has the leadoff man on. Throw back to first, back in diving is the base runner Webb. He's got a good move, Hirschfeld does. Bakerski with an open stance. The stretch. And the pitch out. It's off the glove of Peterson, nothing doing. Count levels at 1-1. The Bee Diggers were on and off the field pretty quickly in the first 3 innings, but they were out there for a long time in the 4th. And not off to the best start here in the 5th. Stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. The bender goes right underneath Peterson to the screen. Looked like it got there on the fly. Just didn't put the glove down. That'll be a pass ball. Another runner in scoring position for the Cougars. 2 balls and 1 strike. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Swung on and chopped over the mound of the second baseman, Matos Garcia, to his right. Sets, throws, and there's 1 down. Advancing to third is Colton Webb. But again, Resurrection Christian playing small ball to advance the runner. Caleb Robbins grounded out and walked. That walk began the 4-run rally in the 4th. You got to watch out for the bunt here. Would would be no surprise. They're such a good small ball team based on what we've seen over the last inning plus. At third is Webb. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. Count is 0-1 to Caleb Robbins. B&B Appliance carries a full line of in-stock and ready-to-be-delivered Whirlpool appliances. With the world moving towards more green energy, recycle the old and get in with the new. New appliances, that is, at B&B Appliance. Now let's see if Robbins squares to bunt. He is. Step off by Hirschfeld. And Wiggins throwing very well for the Cougars, so the B-Diggers have got a limit to rally here. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, a man at third. 4-2 Resurrection Christian in the top of the 5th inning. The pitch. Fastball is outside. Count levels at 1-1. 4 hits for the Cougars, 3 for the B-Diggers. Both teams have committed an error. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on line into center field. That's a base hit. Webb will score. And Resurrection Christian now leads 5-2. On the RBI from Caleb Robbins.
Now batting catcher number 9.
Here's Del Richardson. Oh, they're looking to extend this rally even more. After that base hit, the stretch and the offering. Swung on, that ball's grounded into left field off the shortstop Rosenbrock for a base hit. First and second now.
Now batting number 14, Nathan Wiggins.
And here's Nathan Wiggins, who's 1 for 2, struck out. And then had that perfect bunt. Well, actually, it ended up being perfect. It was actually a lucky bunt. He popped it up, but worked out very nicely for Resurrection Christian. Well, now the B-Diggers have to thwart this rally. Stretch by Hirschfeld. And the offering, throw to second, but the runner Robbins was already on top of the bag. As he read that pretty easily. Still yet to see a pitch here. Is Wiggins. The offering. Fastball, a strike to Nathan Wiggins. No balls and 1 strike. 5-2 is reachable, but B-Diggers cannot allow another run. The stretch and the offering. Curveball is grounded right side off of B.J. Hirschfeld's glove. He picks it up, throws to first, and it's going to be late. That'll be an error on the first baseman, Hirschfeld, and the bases are loaded for Jake Lohr.
Now batting first baseman number 2.
Oh, nothing you can do there when you commit the errors as a pitcher, but now Lohr will bat. Lohr had that bunt single and a second run scored on an error. He's 1 for 1. He was also hit by a pitch. The Cougars lead 5-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Stretch by Hirschfeld. Time is called. At third for Resurrection Christian is Robbins. Richardson at second. Wiggins at first. The B-Diggers have had their 2-0 lead squelched here by a 5-run rally. 4 in the 4th, 1 so far here in the 5th. And the offering. Fastball is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Lohr's test back in. Hirschfeld has thrown 81 pitches. The offering. Curveball is grounded right side into right field for a base hit. A big chopper. Scoring is Robbins. Richardson around third. He will score as the throw comes through to third as Wiggins. It's a 2-run single for Jake Lohr. And Resurrection Christian now leads 7-2 in the 5th inning.
Now batting second baseman, number 1, Josh.
And that was just a chopper. Nothing the Bead Diggers could do about that. That's 3 RBIs in the game for Lohr. And that'll bring up Josh Miller. So runners at the corners. Stretched by Hirschfeld, the offering. Fastball is down and in. One ball and no strikes. Bead Diggers were in control for a while, but not anymore. Swung on and popped up into right center field. Long run for Guzman. Ranges under it, makes the catch. Tagging at third is Wiggins. The throw comes through, but he's in there on the sac fly by Josh Miller. Resurrection Christian 8. And the Bead Diggers 2. Here's Jake Tomchek, who struck out and singled.
Now batting center fielder, number 2, Jake Tomchek.
So 4 runs in each of the last 2 innings for Resurrection Christian. And the pitch is swung on, lifted into left field. Brandon Walter comes in, still coming. He dives, and he has to short hop it. It's a base hit. It looked like he misjudged that one because he came in very gingerly, and the ball just dropped in on the fly ball. Tomchek has 2 hits in the game. Kobe Bishop has struck out and grounded out. Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a misjudged fly ball. Stretch and the pitch down and in with a heater. 1 ball and no strikes. To Bishop. And the offering. Fastball outside corner that levels the count at 1-1. Lohr at second, Tomchek at first. 8-2 Resurrection Christian in the 5th. And the offering. Fastball is just outside. And that moves the count to 2-1. And the pitch swung on and grounded a second to his right as Maltos Garcia. He'll tag the runner going by. And the inning finally comes to an end. Resurrection Christian, though, for the second straight inning, scores 4 runs. And the Cougars in the inning do it on 5 base hits. There was 1 error and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Resurrection Christian 8, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Bead Diggers, trailing the Cougars of Resurrection Christian 8-2 at the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch and the breaking ball hits foul in the back. That's a good start to this 5th inning for the Bead Diggers. As foul was 0 for 1. He lined out to short.
Now batting catcher, number 8, Alec Peterson.
We saw the Bead Diggers come back from a huge deficit last year to beat the Cougars. I think that was a 11-10 score. Peterson has grounded out twice. If Brush can chip away, score at least a run here. But then you got to hold down that Cougar offense, and Hirschfeld is not on his game the last 2 innings, the stretch. They might have to pitch somebody else. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. A tough 4th and 5th innings for Ryan. The pitch. Fastball is down and away. Hirschfeld 5 innings so far, 89 pitches. 8 runs allowed, 7 earned. He's given up 8 hits, walked 2, struck out 4. Fastball is low and away, 3-0. Oh, this could get interesting even before we hit the 7th inning. Or even the 6th for that matter. 3 balls, no strikes. Stretched by Corey Wiggins. And the offering. That's way outside, and Peterson walks on 4 pitches. Again, that's what we talked about 2 innings ago. Sometimes you don't have to do anything, just stand up there. See what happens. Premier Farm Credit is still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers. They understand and are passionate about agriculture. They're dedicated to serving America in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Arnoldo Maltos Garcia is grounded out twice. And now you definitely need a run. You're down by 6 in the bottom of the 5th inning, and you got the heart of the order coming up. Stretch and the pitch. The breaking ball is in the dirt. That's an unusual start. When you have thrown 5 balls in a row, then you throw a curveball. Maybe he thought that Maltos Garcia was going to be swinging. But he was disciplined and did not. 1-0. Upstairs with a fastball. 2-0. Somehow Corey Wiggins just can't find the strike zone, and his pitch count is getting up there. He's got 88 over 4+. He's thrown 1 fewer pitch than Hirschfeld. That's how efficient Hirschfeld was in the first 3 innings before struggling over the next 2. And the 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. And sometimes it only takes 1 pitch to get back on track, but the Bead Diggers are hoping otherwise. At second, foul at first, Peterson. Wiggins with a 2-1. Swing and foul tipped into the glove of Richardson. Count is at 2-2. Two and two to the sophomore second baseman. Runners take their leads. And the offering. Fastball is up and away. 3-2. It's amazing. The Bead Diggers are 1 pitch away from actually loading the bases. In an 8-2 Cougar lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brush was up 2-0 going into the 4th. And the step off, no throw, fouled back to second. Pitch by pitch account at KSIRsports.com in case you missed any of today's action. And now Maltos Garcia steps out trying to disrupt the rhythm of the pitcher, Corey Wiggins, who's been pretty good. But he's got a 3-2 count here against Maltos Garcia. The pitch, and he threw it in the dirt, and the bases are loaded. The bases are loaded on a hit batsman and 2 walks. Wow. I mean, this is typical of a Brush Resurrection Christian game the last couple of years, where the Bead Diggers, at least, especially last year, they were way down and came back in the final inning. But they're rallying much earlier than the final inning. The bases loaded and nobody out. Hirschfeld has walked and reached on an error. Hirschfeld is 0 for 1 in the game. 1 swing can change this game and get the Bead Diggers back in it. The offering. Fastball is a strike on the outer half belt tie. It's 0-1. Quick visit to the hill by the pitching coach for the Cougars. 0-1. Fastball down the middle, knee high. It's 0-2. Wiggins looks like he's back in rhythm. No balls and 2 strikes to Hirschfeld. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and popped up extremely high into foul territory and out of play. Count remains at 0-2. To Ryan Hirschfeld. Foul at third. Peterson at second. Maltos Garcia at first. The Bead Diggers have not touched the ball in this inning. A hit batsman and a couple of walks. And this is it for Brush. They want to get back in it. And they could do it later in the game, but you got 3, 4, and 5 coming up with the bases loaded and nobody out. And time is called by Hirschfeld. And this should be the last inning for Wiggins, you would think, unless he can retire 3 Bead Diggers in a row quickly. He's thrown 95 pitches. Richardson lays down the sign. And the offering. And did he wave at it? And I don't think he did on a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Hirschfeld. Out of the stretch. 8-2 Resurrection Christian in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Count moves to 2-2. Hirschfeld awaiting the 2-2 pitch. And here it comes. Fastball called strike 3 outside corner just above the knees, and he knew it. And there's 1 down.
Now batting shortstop.
Here's Kyle Rosenbrock.
Kyle Rosenbrock.
Yep, he knew it. A perfectly located pitch by Corey Wiggins. Rosenbrock has a 2-run homer and an infield single. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. One ball and no strikes. Runners take their leads. And the offering. Ooh, the fastball down the middle. Oh, I thought Rosenbrock was going to pull the trigger. He did not. Count is level at 1-1. Richardson lays down the sign. 1-1 pitch. Curveball is grounded weakly on the left side. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop Bakerski. He's got no play. Scoring is foul on the infield single by Rosenbrock. It's now an 8-3 game, and the bases are reloaded. Rosenbrock didn't hit it hard at all, but in the perfect spot. Here's Oscar Soto, who was struck out a couple of times. Can he deliver? Looking in is Wiggins. The pitch, fastball down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. To Soto. And swing and a miss and a fastball. He challenged him right there. Count is even at 1-1. At third, Peterson. Maltos Garcia at second. Rosenbrock at first. Swung on and grounded sharply to short. Could be 2. And the ball is dropped by Bakerski, and everybody's safe. That'll be an error on the shortstop for Resurrection Christian on the hard-hit grounder. Scoring is Alec Peterson. But give the RBI to Soto. B-Diggers now trail 8-4. Here's Nico Guzman, 0 for 2, the pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch by Wiggins. And the pitch and the curveball. Just about went behind him. The count is level at 1-1. The stretch and the offering. Fastball is upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Maltos Garcia, Rosenbrock, and Soto at third, second, and first. Tying run at the plate. The pitch. Swing and foul to the screen. Strong swing there by the junior center fielder. Count is at 2-2. So 2-2 is the count to Guzman. Critical at bat here. Stretch by Wiggins. And the pitch. Fastball is down and away. Wow, 3-2. I can't believe the way this game is going. 109 pitches thrown by Wiggins already. 3-2 to Guzman. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Bishop is under it to his left. Makes the catch. And no tag on the play. Maltos Garcia did not tag. He slipped over there at third base. Not sure it was deep enough to score him, but it's just an out.
Now batting third.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take off for sure with that speed. Here's Mikey Gutierrez. Now it's a more critical at bat. Gutierrez has struck out twice in the game. Well, the Bee Diggers have crept to within 4. That's the good news. The stretch by Wiggins. And the pitch. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Bee Diggers have just 1 hit in the inning. It was an infield hit by Rosenbrock, but they scored twice. And the 1-0. Oh, boy, swinging at a pitch that's way too high. Can't hit that one with 3 bats. 1-1. Yeah, that was closer to neck level. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The bases loaded. Resurrection Christian in the bottom of the 5th leads 8-4. And the offering in the dirt, scooped up nicely by Richardson. Ball 2, strike 1. AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado. When you need ice, don't just settle for any old frozen water, also known as old frozen water. AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mikey Gutierrez. The stretch by Wiggins. And the offering. Fastball down the middle at the knees at strike 2. 1 pitch away from allowing only 2 runs is Corey Wiggins. Shakes off a sign from Richardson. And the 2-2. Swung on and lined into left center field for a base hit. Matos Garcia will score. Rosenbrock is around third. The throw towards the plate, and he's in there sliding on the 2-run single by Mikey Gutierrez. And the Cougar lead is down to 2. It's 8-6 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Advancing to second was Soto. That was clutch.
Now batting first baseman, number 11.
Here's B.J. Hirschfeld, who singled and struck out. The Bee Diggers making this very interesting now. With plenty of baseball still to go. And we will have a pitching change, a 1-minute break with the score. Resurrection Christian 8, Brush 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Kobe Bishop is the new pitcher. We'll have to check out that defensive alignment in right field, because Bishop was in right. There's normally a couple of players shift when that happens. Replacing Nathan Wiggins after Mikey Gutierrez delivered a 2-run single. 8-6 Resurrection Christian in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's B.J. Hirschfeld, who's 1 for 2. And this is a left-hander on the hill now for Resurrection Christian. The pitch, fouled straight back. It's 0-1, so the Bee Diggers have new life after a 4-run rally to counter the 4-run rally by the Cougars in the top of the 5th inning. Yeah, this Brush team never goes away. At second is Soto. At first is Gutierrez. The stretch. And time called by Hirschfeld. Yeah, trying to spot who's in right. Yeah, we'll try to get them later because it's a left-handed right fielder. And the 0-1. Breaking ball fouled off the end of the bat to the screen. Count moves to 0-2 on B.J. Hirschfeld. The 2 runners on are still Corey Wiggins' responsibility. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Curveball is down and away. And the Bee Diggers only have 1 left-handed hitter in the lineup in Soto. Let's see if that gives them an advantage moving forward. 1-2. And the left-hander Bishop delivers. And that ball took a hop and then hit Hirschfeld. So the bases are loaded for Zane Fowl. He lined out and was hit by a pitch to begin the inning. He's the 10th hitter of the inning for the Bee Diggers. This went from a 3-inning pitching duel to the last 2 innings being a slugfest. So out of the windup now is going to be Kobe Bishop against Fowl. Wind and pitch. Swing, and it was very late on that swing of a fastball. It's 0-1. And still cannot close the book on Corey Wiggins. He threw well over 100 pitches. And the offering. Swung on and grounded left side. Bakerski in the hole has got it. Flips to second. And the ball goes off the second baseman. Josh Miller down the right field line. 2 runs are going to score. Around third is another run. And safe! Safe as B.J. Hirschfeld as the ball was thrown in from right field. That'll be an error on the second baseman, Miller. Essentially a 3-run error. And the Bee Diggers now lead 9-8. Wow. What a turnaround in this game. No RBI there for Fowl. Looked like a routine play. Well, now I was told the throw was a little bit low, so the error now on the shortstop Bakerski. And at second is Fowl. Here's Peterson. The pitch. All-speed pitch is high. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Peterson is 0 for 2 with a walk. So 3 runs scored on the air. Stretch and pitch in the dirt with the all-speed pitch. Two balls and no strikes. The stretch and the 2-0. Swung on and lifted extremely high into left field. Caleb Robbins trying to spot the baseball, does, and he makes the catch. And the Bee Diggers are done here in the bottom of the 5th inning. However, Brush puts together a 6-run rally, make it a 7-run rally on 2 hits, 2 errors, and a man left. We head to the 6th inning. The Bee Diggers 9, Resurrection Christian 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We've had a massive turnaround in this game as the Bee Diggers now lead Resurrection Christian by a score of 9-8. And Ryan Hirschfeld is still on the hill as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Yeah, amazing turnaround as the Bee Diggers only had 2 hits in the inning. But they took advantage of some faulty pitching. And amazingly enough, incredibly enough, now have the lead.
Third baseman, number 15, Colton Webb.
Here's Colton Webb. To begin the 6th inning for Resurrection Christian. Webb in the game is grounded out and singled. Hirschfeld has thrown 89 pitches, 56 for strikes. But now he's only 6 outs away from perhaps having the Bee Diggers pull out what would be an improbable victory, considering they were down 8-2 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. So here is Webb, standing in for the Cougars. Getting the sign is Hirschfeld. The stretch and the offering, and the breaking ball is low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. A wacky game so far. The first 3 innings all about the pitching. 2-0 Brush. Then 4-2 Resurrection after 3.5. 8-2 Cougars after 4.5. And now 9-8 Bee Diggers after 5. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch. Down and away. Now, I don't know how many hitters Hirschfeld's going to face in this inning if he cannot find his control, because that's how the mess started in the 4th with a couple of walks. 2 balls and no strikes. And the offering. Fastball, a strike, belt high. Those are the only 2 hitters, by the way, he's walked. And a hit batsman. 5 strikeouts for Hirschfeld. 2 balls and 1 strike to the right-hander hitting Colton Webb. And the offering. Curveball right down the middle. That's strike 2. 2-2 to the leadoff hitter for Resurrection Christian in the 6th inning. And the pitch swung on, fouled off to the right. Checking 4 strikeouts, not 5 for Hirschfeld, but looking for number 5 right here. Those 4 strikeouts were over the first 3 innings. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch number 95 coming up for the senior. Here it is. Curveball is chopped on the right side. Hirschfeld has got it, and he flips to first. There's 1 down. 1 down in the 6th inning.
Number 3.
That'll bring up Brett Bakerski, who Hirschfeld has actually handled very nicely. He struck out, popped out, and grounded out. Bakerski, the leadoff hitter in this lineup, is 0 for 3. Hometown service in Higher Plain, High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins for assistance in opening a loan, equity line of credit, or checking account. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank. Chopped foul up the third base side. And the count is at 0-1. The Bay Diggers and Yuma Indians will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Again, right here on 1010 and KSIR.com in the 3rd non-league game over a span of 4 days. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch, curveball, is low. Evening the count at 1-1. Hirschfeld did not allow a hit until the 4th. Then he gave up 8 hits between the 4th and 5th innings. 1-1. Swung on and fouled back. Challenged him with a fastball. 9 runs on 5 hits for the Bee Diggers. They've committed 2 errors and left 4 on base. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Cougars. 3 errors, including a 3-run error that made it a 9-8 Bee Digger lead, where it stands right now. 1-2. Fastball is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brett Bakerski. And this field is in top-notch condition for April 9th. The offering, curveball is tapped foul up the third base side. Count stays at 2-2. Well, if Hirschfeld is going to go the distance, he's going to be throwing well over 100 pitches because he's at 100 right now. 2-2. The pitch swung on, grounded to short. Rosenbrock has got it on the 3rd hop, throws to first, and there's 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Caleb Robbins.
Now batting number 6, Caleb.
Robbins has grounded out, walked, and singled. Officially 1 for 2 in the game. Brush with a 9-8 lead in the top of the 6th inning. 2 down and nobody on. Hirschfeld stretches. Hirschfeld delivers. Fastball is up and in. He'll have to face the heart of the order because Robbins is the number 2 hitter in the lineup. A stretch. 1-0. Curveball is over but low. 2-0. On deck is Del Chance Richardson. 2-0. The pitch outside. 3-0. Three balls and no strikes to the left fielder Caleb Robbins hitting for the right side. Grooves a fastball in there for a strike. It's 3-1. Game slowly approaching the 2-hour mark. And 1:49 right now. The 3-1 pitch is coming. Here it is. Curveball is down and away. It's a 2-out walk to Caleb Robbins. 3rd walk issued by Hirschfeld. There comes Del Chance Richardson. is popped out, walked in his second plate appearance, and then singled. And here comes John Hirschfeld Jr. Let's see what happens. If this is just a scouting report on this hitter, or there's going to be a pitching change, because a lot of pitches have been thrown here by Hirschfeld, 106 to be exact. And it looks like he's back on command here in the sixth inning, even though he just walked Robbins. With the B-Diggers up by a run at 9-8. Brush's biggest lead was 2-0. Resurrection Christian was up 8-2 at one point. In his third at bat, Richardson singled the left. So Richardson will step in from the right side. And Caleb Robbins, who's got some speed, is at first base. He's the tying run here in the sixth inning with the B-Diggers up 9-8. Now, all they did this year, as opposed to last year in Brush, was rally earlier. They waited until the seventh inning to do so. Here they did it in the fifth inning. The offering. Curveball is taken low. 1 ball and no strikes. One and 0 here to Richardson. Step off. No throw. 2-step lead for Robbins. Stretched by Hirschfeld. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs. Got to be careful now. Falling behind the hitter. The number 3 hitter in the lineup, Del Chance Richardson. It's 2-0. The B-Diggers are 4 outs away from winning, but these 4 outs are going to be very tough. This third out is going to be extremely difficult. 2-0 pitch, runner going. Curveball is taken for a strike. The throw to second, the tag, and late. It was a perfect pitch to run on because it was a slow curve. Stolen base for Caleb Robbins. The tying run is now at the plate. Well, the tying run's been at the plate. I should say the tying run's on second base with a go-ahead run at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hirschfeld gets a sign. And the pitch. Curveball is driven into deep left field, and Walter is way back. He can't see the baseball, and that's because that ball is going to be gone for a 2-run homer. A no-doubter on the slow breaking ball by Ryan Hirschfeld. Del Richardson has given Resurrection Christian a 10-9 lead on a 2-out homer in the top of the sixth inning. And those 3 walks have come back to roost, and there's going to be a pitching change. We'll take it with them. With 2 down in the sixth, it's Resurrection Christian 10, Brush 9 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. B.J. Hirschfeld is the new pitcher. Ryan Hirschfeld goes to first. They just switched places, swung on, and fouled at the plate. Resurrection Christian on Del Richardson's 2-run homer now leads 10-9. Ryan Hirschfeld is still the pitcher of record since he left trailing in the game. Wiggins is struck out. Then a bunted his way on and an error. 1 for 3. Curveball foul back. Count is at 0-2. Well, the B-Diggers still have 6 outs to play with now on the other end. No balls and 2 strikes. Stretching the offering. Fastball is upstairs. Count moves to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. And the pitch swung on and grounded fair down the third baseline, headed for the corner. Grayson Simmons now in left field giving chase. And 2-2 is Wiggins with a 2-out double. And the rally continues for Resurrection Christian. On a hard ground ball down the third baseline. Jake Lohr's been hit by a pitch. And a couple of singles. A bunt single driving in a run and then a 2-run single. So he's looking to extend the rally. You can close the book on Ryan Hirschfeld. We'll get to those numbers here momentarily. Still calculating. And now it's going to be an intentional walk here, which is one of the stupidest rules in high school baseball, when you intentionally walk and you don't have to throw a pitch.
Now batting number 1, Josh.
Drives me crazy. I mean, this isn't slow pitch softball. They can throw the pitches to the plate. Josh Miller will now hit. That's a good move by the Bee Diggers. Now you've got any base. Miller is grounded out. A bunt and a sac fly. And apparently we're having an equipment issue out there with B.J. Hirschfeld, like a bandage or something that apparently you cannot wear on your arm or wrist while you're pitching because it's also white. And that clashes with the color of the baseball. So Mark Muniz has taken that away. And Hirschfeld will now face Josh Miller, the right-handed hitting second baseman. Yeah, so that officially, in my book, goes as 4 pitches there for Hirschfeld, even though I didn't throw one there. So first and second. The pitch. Down and away with the off-speed pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. 10 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors for the Cougars, 9 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Bee Diggers. And the 1-0 in the dirt, blocked by Peterson, 2-0. Getting that final out was very difficult for Resurrection Christian. The Bee Diggers can't get it now. It was 2 down, nobody on, and then a walk and a 2-run homer by Richardson. Now a double and an intentional walk. And Josh Miller now with a favorable count of 2-0. And the pitch. Fastball outside corner for a strike. 2-1. Yeah, this game is going to go the distance, undoubtedly. Stretch and the 2-1. And the breaking ball nearly hit him. 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Visit morgancc.edu, Morgan Community College online. And now we got a swing and a drive into left center. However, time was called, and I think it was a balk. Looked like a balk was called. The Bee Diggers get a huge break because that would have been at least a 2-run double. That's a huge break for Brush because that ball was belted out there by Josh Miller. But a balk was called, and the runners advance. Imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goal. And goals with Morgan Community College. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Runners at second and third now. Resurrection Christian leads 10-9 in the top of the 6th inning. This looked like it was going to be an hour and 40-minute game. Now it's going to be over 2.5 hours. Curveball is driven into deep left field. Simmons is way back towards the fence, and he reaches, and he made the up against the fence, and robbing Josh Miller of a 2. And if not for that play, 12-9 game. Big play out there for Grayson Simmons. However, in the inning, Resurrection Christian comes through with 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Resurrection Christian 10, Brush 9. You're listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Bee Diggers come to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. And they trail the game 10-9 to Resurrection Christian with Kobe Bishop, the left-hander, delivering. Swing and a miss on a tailing fastball. Thrown to baby Maltos Garcia, who was 0 for 2, grounded out twice. Both were close plays, and then walked and scored in the 7-run 5th inning. The offering. Swung on and tapped on the right side, a slow roller. Bishop picks it up, fires to first in time, and Maltos Garcia's retired. 1 down on the slow roller. That'll bring up Ryan Hirschfeld.
Ryan Hirschfeld.
Still trying to figure out who's in right field for Resurrection Christian, but if a play is made out there, then I'll have to correctly identify that player because Bishop was out there in right. Hirschfeld has walked. He reached on an error and struck out looking. Line and pitch, and the fastball is a strike. Bell tie, it's 0-1. Brush led 2-0, trailed 4-2, 8-2, then led 9-8, and are now down by a run. The pitch, tailing away. It's 1-1 to Hirschfeld. Typical Brush Resurrection Christian game. Seen way too many of these. The pitch, swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. Yeah, this game has been well played at times and poorly played at others. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Hirschfeld. Against the left-hander Bishop. Line and pitch, and that ball nearly hit him off the glove of Richardson to the screen, right around ankle level. It is 2-2. The tying run is at the plate for the Bee Diggers, and Hirschfeld has got home run power. The offering, that is a called strike 3. Boy, didn't swing at that one, but it was right there on the outer half, just above the knees. And there's 2 down. Second time he struck out in the game. Rosenbrock has a couple of infield singles and a 2-run homer. He's driven in 3 in the game. As he steps in, pitch, change up is low. 1 ball and no strikes. You don't have to see the heart of the order. If you can retire Rosenbrock, you'll face the middle and the bottom of the order in the 7th. Swing and a miss and a ball tailing away. Looked like another changeup. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The base is empty. The Cougars lead the Bee Diggers 10-9 in the 6th. The pitch swung on, and it's tying the game. It's Rosenbrock with a long fly ball, unless it's foul. It is. Oh my gosh, he hit it a mile, and it looked like it was fair down the left field line, but it's foul. 300 down the left field line. He hit it a mile, but it was foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Line and pitch. Swung on and driven towards center field. That's going to drop for a base hit in front of Tomchek. And the rally continues for the Bee Diggers. Yeah, now we know that's Corey Wiggins in center. Looks like Tomchek is in right. I think we identified that. Fort Morgan defeating Vista Peak 11-9 in Fort Morgan. 0 for 3 is Soto. A couple of strikeouts, and he reached on an air. The pitch swung on and grounded sharply right side. And a diving attempt by Miller. He can't get it. It's into right field. The ball is bobbled out there, but he gets it back in. And to second is Rosenbrock. Soto with a base hit. First and second. That'll bring up Nico Guzman, who was popped out, grounded out, and popped out. He's had everything on the right side. That was against the starter, Corey Wiggins. Resurrection Christian generated a 2-out rally. The Bee Diggers looking to do the same. Lots of speed at second. The pitch swung on and driven deep into center field, going way back towards the track, and the ball is over the glove of the center fielder. 1 run is scoring. Coming around third is Soto. 2-3 is Nico Guzman. He slides, and he is going to be out, but the run did score. Looked like the run did score. Let's see, the home plate umpire is going to rule on it. And the run did score, so it'll be a 2-run double for Nico Guzman, and the Bee Diggers take an 11-10 lead as Corey Wiggins made the throw, and Guzman was thrown out at third base. Let's head to the 7th. Brush 11, Resurrection Christian 10 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. This insane game is now going to the top of the 7th inning after Nico Guzman delivered a 2-run double on a deep shot over the head of center fielder Corey Wiggins. The Bee Diggers now lead Resurrection Christian 11-10. Yeah, just crazy how this is gone so far for the Bee Diggers. I mean, they were down 8-2 in the game and have generated a major rally. And all those runs scored by Brush in this last inning came with 2 down. And I know all those runs were only 2 runs, but that's the same thing Resurrection Christian did. So Nico Guzman will now pitch for the Bee Diggers. Big, strong right arm for Brush. He will face Jake Tomchek, Kobe Bishop, and Colton Webb, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. So it's the bottom of the lineup here for Resurrection Christian as they look to rally for yet another time. They were down 2-0, then up 8-2, down 9-8, up 10-9, and now down 11-10. This will be quite a victory if the Bee Diggers could pull it off. In line for the victory is B.J. Hirschfeld in relief. So here is Kobe Bishop. Or check that, Jake Tomchek. He has struck out and singled twice in the game. So he is 2 for 3. Now facing the hard-throwing junior. Guzman ready. Wind and the pitch. Fastball is right on the outer half for a strike. Now B.J. Hirschfeld now in right field. Wind and offering. A little bit high. Zane Fow is now in center. So that's the official alignment defensively for the Bee Diggers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Guzman looking to nail down the save and Brush's 5th win. And the pitch, squaring to bunt. The fastball's a strike on the outside corner, just above belt level. Nico's gotten a little bit bigger and stronger since last year, and he was a hard thrower as a sophomore. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind and pitch. Fastball is upstairs, and the count levels at 2-2. Nico saw some action on the mound in the state tournament against Bayfield. 2-2 to the left-handed hitting Jake Tomchek, the opening hitter here in the 7th. Brush up 11-10. And the pitch. Fastball is low. 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Critical pitch made here by Guzman. Here is the wind and the offering. Swing and a miss. Blow him away on a fastball, belt level. 1 down in the 7th. Nothing but smoke there from Nico Guzman. Here's Kobe Bishop, who was struck out. Grounded to short. And then a fielder's choice to second. 0 for 3 in the game. Another left-handed hitter. And right now he's the pitcher of record for Resurrection Christian after the 2-run double by Guzman. The pitch. Fastball is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. And Guzman rears back. He uses all of his body to deliver that baseball. Now operating out of the stretch. And the 1-0. Swung on, grounded up the middle, headed for center field for a base hit. Guzman nearly had it. But it's a base hit for Kobe Bishop. And the tying run is at first. Colton Webb is grounded to short, singled, and hit a little chopper back to the mound. He's 1 for 3. Bee Diggers have used up 3 pitchers in this game. Ryan Hirschfeld, B.J. Hirschfeld, and now Nico Guzman. Got to wonder who will start tomorrow. Could be Peterson. Well, we'll find out when we get to that game against Yuma. Bishop leads off of first. The pitch. Swung on, grounded right side. Matos Garcia flips to second for one. Rosenbrock to first, and that's late. But they get the front end out there. 4-6 on the fielder's choice.
Number 3, Brett Bakerski.
It's up to Brett Bakerski, who is 0 for 4 in the game. Struck out, popped to right, grounded to second, and grounded to short. He is 0 for 4. And there'll be a meeting on the mound just amongst the players. Don't know if they're going to shift certain players around or not. As we do have a courtesy runner at first, by the way, for Resurrection Christian with 2 down in the 7th. And that is Matt Cooksey. The last time a team didn't score was the Bead Diggers in the bottom of the 4th inning. Resurrection Christian scored 4 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Bead Diggers had 7 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. It's 11-10 with 2 down and 1 on here in the 7th. And stepping in is Brett Bakerski. Righty against righty. Peterson lays down the sign. The stretch and the pitch. And he took something off it. It's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Tough game to lose, and certainly a hard-fought win for whichever team comes away with it. As the lead went back and forth between the bottom of the 5th, the top of the 6th, and the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Low and away with a fastball. It's 2-0. And Caleb Robbins is on deck. Big pitch coming up here for Nico Guzman. 2 balls and no strikes to Bakerski. Guzman looks in. And the 2-0. Swing and a miss. He tried to hit that one out of here. It's 2-1. Challenged him with a fastball. Right down the middle, it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down, 1 on. 11-10 Brush in the top of the 7th inning at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush. The pitch. Fastball is outside. Barely missed. 3-1. Guzman thought he might have had strike 2, but now he's going to have to give in a little bit here to Bakerski. 3 balls and 1 strike. Short lead at first for Cooksey. And the 3-1. Fastball is high. First and second now for Robbins, who grounded to third, walked, singled, and walked again. So he's been on base 3 times in a row. And that base hit drove in a run. I guess it's appropriate. It goes down to this with a runner in scoring position. And the trail runner, Bakerski at first, is the go-ahead run for Resurrection Christian. What are the Bead Diggers going to do for an encore tomorrow if they win this game against the Yuma Indians when they play tomorrow here in Brush? The stretch and the pitch. Fastball rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Caleb Robbins. Had a slugfest in Fort Morgan with the Mustangs beating Vista Peak 11-9 on B106 and B106.com as Chris Bull Brom had to call that game. The stretch and calling time is Robbins. Here it's 11-10 Bead Diggers. So there have been a total of 41 runs scored today in Morgan County. And the home team won in Fort Morgan. Will the home team win in Brush? The stretch. And the 1-0. Fastball, a strike on the outer half at the knees. The count is level at 1-1. To Caleb Robbins. Guzman has thrown only 7 strikes amongst his 16 pitches, but has 2 outs. The stretch. And the 1-1. Fastball is up and in. That's the only thing that'll plague Guzman. Sometimes a little bit of a streak pitcher, even though he's got some good stuff. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lights are still not on. It's not dark yet, but if it goes too much longer, as he steps off. If you want a pitch-by-pitch account of this game and you're just tuning in, go to KSIRsports.com and click on the link for today's game. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at KSIR Sports and at B106. 2-1 pitch. Fastball, outside corner, strike two. He painted the corner there. And Guzman is one pitch away from giving the Beat Diggers their 5th win of the season and handing Resurrection Christian, the number 1 team in 2A, their 2nd loss. Robbins right on top of the plate. 2-2, the stretch. And the offering. Swung on and popped up down the line, but that is headed out of play. And the count stays at 2-2. Can't get much closer than this. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. The Beat Diggers up by a run in the top half of the 7th inning. Back in the box is Caleb Robbins. Peterson lays down the sign. Off of second is Cooksey. Bakerski at first. And the pitch. Outside with a fastball. It's 3-2. And the runners will be taking off with the pitch. And now Peterson is out to talk to Guzman. Wow. You throw so many pitches in a baseball game, and it comes down to 1. Right here in the top of the 7th inning to Caleb Robbins. A payoff pitch coming up as the conversation breaks up between Peterson and Guzman. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Robbins settles back into the box. Can the Beat Diggers put it away right now, or will the game be extended? Either another pitch or another batter. Stretch by Guzman. 3-2. Swung on and foul to the screen. Count remains at 3-2. He threw it with everything he had. And Robbins got a piece of it. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Caleb Robbins. Cooksey off of second. Bakerski at first. The stretch by Nico. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Guzman looks tired out there. He's bending over at the waist. He's throwing it with everything he's got right now. 3-2 once again to Robbins. Just extending the at-bat. You might have to throw him a deceiving pitch, maybe a breaking ball. We'll find out. 3-2. The offering. Swung on, lined off the glove of Gutierrez at third. The ball is loose in the infield. Picked up and no throw to the plate, and scoring on the play and tying the game for Resurrection Christian is Matt Cooksey. It'll be a base hit on the line drive by Robbins, and we're deadlocked at 11 in the top of the 7th inning. Wow. Gutierrez nearly made an incredible play. The ball was kept in the infield, but it took a wild ricochet and picked up by the second baseman, Maltos Garcia. But no play. And Del Richardson has popped out, walked, singled, and hit a 2-run homer. He is 2 for 3 in the game. Well, we're going to continue playing. Had to challenge him with a fastball, and that was the result. The stretch by Guzman. The pitch. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. To Del Chance Richardson. Guzman looks in, and the offering. Down and away with a heater. And now Guzman is the pitcher of record. And the count is at 1 ball, make it 2 balls and no strikes. Resurrection Christian can once again take the lead. The stretch and the offering. Swung on, lifted to center field. Going back is foul. Still going back, and the ball is over his head. Up against the fence. Bakerski will score. Robbins around third. He's going to score. Rosenbrock is going to run the ball back in, throw to second, and the tag and out at second is Richardson, but it is a 2-run double, and Resurrection Christian has taken a 13-11 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll come back on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Oh, I said it was an insane baseball game. It got more crazy here. Del Richardson will now pitch in the bottom of the 7th inning. He caught the whole game. And let's see who the catcher is for Resurrection Christian. Unless that's Luke Fick. Got a 35 written on there, which we'll assume that's Fick. Behind the plate, because I've got him at 25. Nobody else fits that bill. As the Bee Diggers now trail 13-11. Resurrection Christian, by the way, in the inning, had 3 runs on 3 hits, including that 2-run double by Richardson. Inning earlier, he had the 2-run homer. So he has given Resurrection Christian the lead twice in the game. Unbelievable. As we head here to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Mikey Gutierrez will now hit for the Bee Diggers.
Leading off for the Diggers in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, one of the crazier games that we've seen over the years is going on right now. The Bee Diggers were down 8-2 at one point, and now looking to rally again. They were down 8-2. Then they trailed 10-9, and now they trail 13-11. And last year they beat this team in their final at-bat. Mikey Gutierrez had a 2-run single in his last at-bat. The right-hander delivers. Fastball is on the inside corner. That's strike 1. A 2.5-hour classic going on right now. The stretch. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, bending away from the hitter. No balls and 2 strikes to Mikey Gutierrez. He struck out in his first 2 at-bats, so Gutierrez had 1 for 3. And the offering swung on and lifted into shallow center field. Wiggins is coming on, still coming, and the ball is going to be, was it caught? No, dropped by the center fielder, Bakerski. He laid out and nearly made an incredible catch. The ball hit the webbing and then fell out as he hit the ground. It'll be a base hit for Mikey Gutierrez. Nice job of the umpires getting out there, both of them, making sure that that ball did hit the ground, which it did. So the tying run is now at the plate, and B.J. Hirschfeld, who has singled, struck out and hit by a pitch. 13 hits for Resurrection Christian, 9 for Brush. The stretch. Richardson delivers. Swung on and fisted slowly towards short. Bakerski charges, cut off by the third baseman. Throw to first is low, and safe is Hirschfeld. That'll be a base hit. Not dug out over there by Lohr, but really nothing Webb could do there. The ball was hit off the fist. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, you get the right bounce here, the wrong bounce over there, and there. Zane Fowl will now hit a line drive, hit by a pitch and reached on an air. He is 0 for 2. The tying run is at the plate now for the Bee Diggers. A check at first base. The winning run is at the plate. Stretch by Richardson. Hard throwing right-hander looks back. And the offering squaring to bunt and lays it down foul up the first base side. It is 0-1. Again, you can go to KSIRsports.com, click on today's game for a pitch-by-pitch account, or just go to our Twitter feed at either KSIR Sports or B106 or Facebook, and every time a team scores, we upload that, we post it, and there's 24 runs. There were 20 scored in Fort Morgan today. Squaring to bunt, and he pops it foul to the screen. Now it's 0-2. See if Foul hits away with no balls and 2 strikes. Gutierrez at second, Hirschfeld at first. Each of the last 2 years, the Bee Diggers have defeated Resurrection Christian at home in their final at-bat, looking to do it again. With 2 down and nobody on, trailing 13-11. The stretch. Throw to second, and back in there was Gutierrez. He was way off the bag. And that's inexcusable. And Gutierrez now inching a little bit closer to the bag. His run doesn't mean as much as the run behind him. The pitch. Breaking ball went behind, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock is about 5 batters away if they need him. The stretch. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss and a fastball that tied him up. And there's 1 down. 1 down for Alec Peterson, who's grounded out twice, walked, and then popped to left. He is 0 for 3. Good time for his first hit would be right now. Was brushed down by a deuce. In the bottom of the 7th inning, the Bee Diggers were 1 strike away from winning by a run. Now they're 2 outs away from losing this game. The stretch by Richardson. And the pitch. The breaking ball is a little bit high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Mikey Gutierrez at second. B.J. Hirschfeld, the tying run, is at first. The stretch again by Richardson. The offering. And that fastball nearly got him on the helmet. 2-0. What does Peterson do now? He hit a grand slam last year as a sophomore in Alt against the Highland Huskies. 2-0. And now we'll have a conference on the Hill. Pitching coach coming out here for Resurrection Christian. This is a 2-hour and 32-minute game so far. And we can't assume it will end in 7 innings. 2 balls and no strikes to Peterson. We will have the Nuggets coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, even though nobody cares about them at this point. They've only got 5 games remaining in the regular season and are not in the playoff race. That'll come to you in 23 minutes. 2 balls, no strikes to Peterson. Richardson delivers. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Good swing by AP. 2-1. Gutierrez with plenty of speed at second. Hirschfeld's got some decent wheels at first. Playing Peterson straight away and fairly shallow in center. The stretch. And the 2-1. In the dirt, skips away from the catcher, and the runners will advance on the wild pitch. Gutierrez to third, and to second is B.J. Hirschfeld. Peterson with a base hit in the outfield would tie the game. 3 balls and 1 strike. Richardson comes home. Swung on and popped up in the infield on the left side. The shortstop, Bakerski, calls for it, makes the catch. And there are 2 down. Here's Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. Maltos Garcia trying to bail out here. Peterson not happy with himself. He had a pitch to hit and got under it. Baby has grounded out twice, walked and grounded out again. And that's part of the issue here. The top 2 in the lineup are a combined 0 for 7. Stretch by Richardson. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. Will the third time be a charm for Resurrection Christian after the Bee Diggers defeated them in 2012 and 2013 here in their final at-bat? That's what the Cougars are hoping for. 2 strikes away. At third is Gutierrez. At second is B.J. Hirschfeld. Stretch by Richardson. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Headed for center field, but backhanded by the second baseman. Throw to first is going to be late. Headed for the plate is Hirschfeld. He slides. He's in there. The ball is off the glove of the catcher. Maltos Garcia to second base. And the game is tied at 13. Holy mahungus. Maltos Garcia with an RBI single, and then the second run scores on the throw to first base. This is unbelievable. And Maltos Garcia at second on the throw that was mishandled by the catcher, Fick. Here's Ryan Hirschfeld, who's walked, reached on an error, and struck out twice. I can't believe I'm seeing this game like this. This is unbelievable. I mean, I know that's an overused term, but not here. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and driven. Foul down the third base side. That ball was hit like a bullet. No balls and one strike. So give Maltos Garcia 1 RBI on the infield single, and then the trail runner scored on the throw to first, even though they made a throwing attempt at home. The stretch and the 0-1. Swung on line, foul down the right side. He's had 2 excellent swings. But now the count is sitting at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Hirschfeld. Stretch by Richardson, and he calls time. Wow. An amazing game here from Brush. He'll settle back into the box. Stretch by the right-hander Richardson. And the 0-2. Swung on, tapped foul up the third base side. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. So it stays at 0-2. Maltos Garcia at second. A base hit would win the game if it lands in the outfield. The stretch. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. And they're going to have to throw to first to retire Hirschfeld. They do, as Fick makes the play. And we are going to go to the 8th inning as the B-Diggers pick up 2 runs, and they do it on 3 hits, 1 error, and a man left. 7 complete. Brush 13, Resurrection Christian 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The B-Diggers have a number of changes going into the top of the 8th inning. Kyle Rosenbrock, who went the distance on a 1-hitter just through 5 innings, will now be the pitcher. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. It should mean that Maltos Garcia should be the shortstop, which he is. Second baseman is now B.J. Hirschfeld. And Nico Guzman is back in center for the B-Diggers. Zane Fow is back in right. So the B-Diggers and Resurrection Christian Cougars are tied at 13 in the 8th inning. Yeah, just an incredible game. An unbelievable game. Rosenbrock just finishing up his warm-ups. Yeah, if you went to that Fort Morgan game or are in the area, come out here. Why not? We still got an inning of baseball left. And Nathan Wiggins, 2 for 4, struck out. Then had a bunt down the third base line, reached on an error on a grounder on the right side, and then doubled down the left field line. Wiggins sitting at 2 for 4 in the game. And he will step in against the right-hander Kyle Rosenbrock. The sun is still out, but the lights are going to be turned on momentarily, I would think. You got to think they're going to be turned on at some point, pretty shortly. Will we finally see a 0 on the board? The pitch. Fastball is over but low. Didn't expect to see Rosenbrock in this game. But that's exactly what's happened. Wine in the 1-0. The breaking ball is a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bee Diggers going to yet another pitcher in this game. And the offering fouled off to the right. Count goes to 1-2. To Nathan Wiggins. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wiggins back of the box. Rosenbrock gets the sign. And the offering swung on and fouled back. Count stays at 1-2. 13 runs on 13 hits for the Cougars. 4 errors and 5 left on base. The Bee Diggers with 13 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and 5 LOBs. Wine and pitch. Curveball called strike 3. Wiggins is out number 1, and that'll bring up Jake Lohr,
Number 12, Jake Lohr,
who has been a terror. Hit by pitch, a couple of singles, and an intentional walk. Lohr in the game has driven in 3 runs. Line by Rosenbrock. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a bender. No balls and 1 strike. Rosenbrock looks in. And the pitch in the dirt. Count levels at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The base is empty. 13-13. Brush and Resurrection Christian in the 8th. The pitch. Curveball is chopped on the left side. Rosenbrock waits, fields it, throws a bullet to first for the out. And Jake Lohr is retired for the first time in the game.
number 1, Josh Miller.
2 down. Josh Miller is grounded out. And then bunted for an out. Driving in a run, a sac fly, and he also popped out. He's 0 for 3. Wind and pitch. Fastball is upstairs. A lot of these runs have been scored with 2 outs. Bee Diggers scored their 2 runs in the 7th with 2 outs. Resurrection Christian scored their 3 in the 7th with 2 down. Wind in the 1-0. Curveball is right there on the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosenbrock gets the sign from Peterson. And the offering, swing and a miss and a bender. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peterson lays down the sign. Wind and pitch. Swung on, lined, and was it caught? It was by the shortstop Maltos Garcia as he went to both knees. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Rosenbrock. Let's head to the bottom of the 8th. In Brush. Brush, 13. Resurrection Christian, 13. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Kyle Rosenbrock will attempt to give the Bee Diggers the victory as he leads off the bottom of the 8th inning against right-hander Del Chance Richardson. Rosenbrock is 4 for 4 in the game, a 2-run homer, a couple of infield singles, that is, then an outfield single. Stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. He was looking to end the game on the first pitch, but certainly not what he wanted. No balls and 1 strike. No stretch. And the offering. Swung on, foul down the third baseline into the Digger dugout. Count is at 0-2. Rosenbrock drove in 6 runs against Fort Morgan on Monday. Stretched by Richardson. And the offering in the dirt. This game he's driven in 3, so 9 RBIs in the last 2 games. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Kyle Rosenbrock. An exchange of baseballs here. Not that they haven't used up about 1 million of them. A game approaching the 3-hour mark, 2 hours and 47 minutes thus far. And the 1-2. Outside with a fastball. Yeah, definitely off the plate. Close pitch, but Rosenbrock Had a very sharp eye there. It's 2-2. I think we're getting a bigger crowd since this game has become a classic. The stretch. And the 2-2. Outside with a fastball. It's 3-2. To Kyle Rock with a game tied at 13 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Richardson operating out of the stretch with the bases empty. And the offering to Rosenbrock. Swung on and driven foul down the left side. Count remains at 3-2. To the junior. Oscar Soto on deck. Be a good idea if he wouldn't hit. That means Rosenbrock would win it right here with a home run. The stretch. And a 3-2. Swung on and popped up on the right side, and the catcher Richardson makes the catch in foul territory along the first base side. And there's one down. Soto has struck out twice, reached on an error, which produced a run, and then singled. Hitting from the left side. Against the right-hander, Del Chance Richardson. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on, driven down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's trouble. It is fair. That ball's headed for the fence. Soto's around first, and he's going to be into second with a one-out double in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Nico Guzman, who had given the Bee Diggers a one-run lead with a two-run double in the bottom of the 7th inning, or bottom of the 6th, I should say. If Soto had some trajectory, it would have been gone. Grayson Simmons will be the courtesy runner for Oscar Soto. The Bee Diggers now with some speed over at second base. Prior to his two-run double, Guzman popped out, grounded out, and popped out again. Everything's been hit on the right side except that double hit over the center fielder, Corey Wiggins. And Coach Muniz clarifying his courtesy runner with the home plate umpire before Nico Guzman steps in. This is not the second game of a doubleheader. This is game one and the only one. The Bee Diggers and Resurrection Christian Cougars tied at 13 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And at second base is Grayson Simmons after the one-out double by Oscar Soto. Looks like they've clarified everything now. And Guzman will step in. Oh, now they're clarifying it with the on the Resurrection Christian side as well. And Simmons was playing left field, but he's not in the lineup, so you can use him as a courtesy runner, even if he's just a fielder. Simmons made a huge play earlier in this game, making a catch right up against the fence. Rather lengthy delay as we await the official change here. That's confirmed on both sides. So here is Guzman. I love baseball, but it'd be nice to end it right now, because we'll be out here tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And as soon as this game is over, we'll go straight to the Nuggets. They tip off in just a few minutes from the Pepsi Center against the Houston Rockets. And are they going to walk Guzman intentionally? No. I thought they were motioning towards doing that. And is that the case now? Yeah, Guzman is being intentionally walked. Again, without the benefit of throwing a pitch, because that is the rule in high school baseball. I've already editorialized how that is ridiculous. You ought to force the opposing team to throw the 4 pitches. It only takes 20 to 25 seconds. And it looks like Guzman might get a courtesy runner at first. And let's see if this is somebody we have on the roster for Brush. Yeah, that's Jaron Peterson. So Simmons at second, Peterson at first. One down in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's been a while since we've thrown a pitch with these running substitutions, base running substitutions. And Mikey Gutierrez will now bat. Gutierrez struggled in his first 2 at-bats, striking out, but then had a 2-run single in that 7-run 5th inning. And then Gutierrez singled again, keeping a rally alive. So he is 2 for 4 in the game. And Gutierrez will now hit against Richardson. At second is Simmons. At first is Peterson. That's Jaron Peterson. Richardson gets the sign. And the offering. Swung on and grounded towards left field. That's a base hit. Simmons is going to step on third. The throw towards the plate is going to go through, and he's going to be out. And to third is going to be Peterson. Tagged out by Fick. Throw made by Caleb Robbins on the base hit from Gutierrez. And the game continues.
Now batting number 11, B.J. Hirschfeld.
But keep in mind that the winning run is at third. Hirschfeld has singled twice and struck out but hit by a pitch. A wild pitch would score Peterson from third. Yeah, that ball was hit pretty hard, and Simmons has decent speed, but the throw beat him pretty easily. Let's see if Gutierrez takes off from first to eliminate the force in the middle. Richardson looks back to stretch. And the offering. Swung on and tapped up the third base side. Foul. Count us at no balls and 1 strike. Are we going to go to a 9th inning? Wow. We are at the top of the hour. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Greeley. I'm John Beltran, live from Sunset Baseball Field at Brush, tied at 13 between Brush and Resurrection Christian in the bottom of the 8th inning and 2 down. The pitch swung on and fisted into shallow left field. That is going to drop for a base hit. Peterson will score, and the Brush Beat Diggers have won the game 14-13 over Resurrection Christian. Let's take a 3-minute break and come back with a recap on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush. The Beat Digger post-game show is brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is the tough part nowadays, but when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you get the building you want, when you want it, and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. An incredible game this afternoon into this evening. The Beat Diggers defeat the Resurrection Christian Cougars 14-13. For the Beat Diggers, 14 runs on 14 hits, 2 errors, 7 left on base. Resurrection Christian with 13 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors, and 5 left on base. The winning pitcher in relief was Kyle Rosenbrock, his second victory in 3 days. And the loss went to Del Richardson. Time of the game, 2 hours and 57 minutes. Beat Diggers took a 2-0 lead in the first inning on Kyle Rosenbrock's 2-run homer. It stayed that way as Ryan Hirschfeld and Corey Wiggins were going back and forth until the top of the 4th inning. Hirschfeld walks the first 2 hitters, and then Resurrection Christian tied the game on a bunt single from Jake Lord. Then another run scored on a Beat Digger error. The next batter, Josh Miller, with an RBI grounder. Another run scored on the back end of that throw, made it 4-2. And then the Cougars broke it open in the 5th inning. RBI single from Caleb Robbins made it 5-2. Jake Lord with a 2-run single, and then Josh Miller with a sacrifice fly, but the Beat Diggers came right back as they loaded the bases in the bottom of the 5th inning on a hit batsman and 2 walks. And then came up Kyle Rosenbrock with an RBI single, making it 8-3. Oscar Soto had an RBI on an error by the shortstop Bakerski, made it 8-4. Then Mike Gutierrez with a 2-run single as it was 8-6. And then it looked like Resurrection Christian would get out of the inning as the next ball by Hirschfeld was hit right towards Bakerski, the shortstop. He threw it away with the bases loaded and 3 runs scored. The Bee-Diggers grabbed a 9-8 lead, but Resurrection Christian came back at the top of the 6th inning. Del Richardson with a 2-run homer, making it 10-9. The Bee-Diggers, though, grabbed an 11-10 lead as Nico Guzman came through with a 2-run double in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brush was 1 strike away from winning the game in the 7th when Caleb Robbins tied it with an RBI single. Del Richardson then came through with a 2-run double, making it 13-11. And then with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, Arnoldo Maltos Garcia had an infield RBI single, and then the trail runner, B.J. Hirschfeld, scored on the throw to first, deadlocking the game at 13. And then finally, in the bottom of the 8th inning, with men at first and third and 2 down, B.J. Hirschfeld hit a flare down the left field line, scoring Jaron Peterson. Bee-Diggers win the game 14-13. They move to 5-1 on the year. Resurrection Christian drops to 7-2. Bee-Diggers are back in action coming up tomorrow. I don't know what in the world they're going to do for an encore when they take on the Yuma Indians right here from Sunset Baseball Field and Brush right here on 1010 and KSIR.com. The Denver Nuggets are next, coming up against the Houston Rockets. We'll pick up that game in the opening quarter from the Pepsi Center on 1010. Again, we remind you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at KSIR Sports, and follow us pitch by pitch by clicking on the link for the appropriate game at KSIRSports.com. Outstanding job by our sound engineers and producers today, Rose Condas and Alan Lance. I'm John Beltran with the final score from Sunset Baseball Field. The Brush Bee-Diggers defeat the Resurrection Christian Cougars 14-13 in 8 innings on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.